Look at the mayor, all smiles when the city opened the new FCC recycling plant in April. Maybe he thinks it's funny when you keep secrets from Houstonians. We don't. The way FCC was chosen for this $37 million deal had been criticized by the city controller for its lack of transparency. Council members smelled a rigged deck.
And for the pricing category to be totally screwed up and off, yes, it smells, it stinks, in my opinion.
It seems the process that was used by the evaluators was somehow different for FCC than it was the others.
Way back in January 2018, Dolce Vino Consulting had filed this criminal complaint over the mayor's refusal to cough up the evidence. Even back then, Mr. Turner was willing to falsely deny his game of hide and seek. Quoting, "Dolce Vino has a questionable past of telling the truth," the mayor wrote, and the mayor, I guess it's him, will not respond anymore to his comments. Really, Mayor? You know, that's one of the very emails you've been hiding from us for 2.5 years. You're the guy that chose to ignore 2 separate court orders from a judge to just tell the truth. Hand them over. And you're still spending Houston taxpayers' money fighting to keep secrets about this recycling deal. If it's such a great deal, what you hiding? And thanks to the Democratic District Attorney Kim Ogg, our complaint has never even gone to a grand jury a 1.5 years later. But slowly and surely, we are getting closer to the truth.
And together, let's move forward to make this the best city that this world has ever seen. And God bless us all.
In January 2016, the city economic director Andy Icken had urged the brand new mayor to finalize a recycling contract with EcoHub. They had been negotiating the deal for months. Quoting, "The initiative will create jobs, promote environmental sustainability, and improve quality of life for citizens." EcoHub had offered to use all private money to recycle all the city's trash, dramatically cutting the need for garbage trucks, expensive landfill contracts. Just weeks later, wait till you see the email Icken wrote to Chris Butler. Butler was being paid to manage the spending of a $1 million national grant the city of Houston won from Bloomberg Philanthropy to make sure that EcoHub became a reality. The email you're about to see, Mr. Mayor, well, you kept it secret for 2.5 years. Quoting, "Getting great pressure from Harry/Mayor," Icken wrote, "to work the FCC recycling possibility. We need to talk." You know what? That was 7 months before the city had even announced it was considering a different recycling proposal from EcoHub. But behind the scenes, the secret FCC courtship was well underway. We now know that within days of the election in 2015, city garbage boss Harry Hayes was already soliciting FCC to build a plant in Houston. On January 27, 2016, Icken was told to set up possible incentives for FCC that might be available for, quote, "your proposed facility." In February, FCC asked about possible locations on the east side of the city, permits, requirements for minority firms. Harry Hayes appeared to serve as their cheerleader in an email to city department heads, quoting, "They'd like to build a plant here and are looking for incentives. Please let me know if you'd like to reach out to the chairman." The city had started to plan for an entirely new bidding process, a new recycling company, even while EcoHub and city council members were kept totally in the dark. At the highest levels in the Turner administration, there was talk about keeping EcoHub from bidding in the New Deal. Quoting, "Sarah and Steve made it very clear in the meeting they did not support expanding the scope, as it was their understanding that the mayor did not support a one-bin type program." 30 minutes later, Chief Procurement Officer John Gillespie received a phone call from Harry Hayes, telling him he would not consider expanding the scope. A day later, Harry Hayes emails the mayor. It's another one of those emails, Mayor, that you tried to hide. Quoting, "I really need your help to shut down the attempt to resuscitate the one-bin process." Gillespie, well, he left the city soon after. Bloomberg was starting to ask the city to account for how it was spending the remaining $50,000 to $55,000 in grant prize funds they still had for EcoHub, now clearly dead on arrival. Instead, early drafts of the city's letter to Bloomberg from city advisor Brian Yeoman blamed some of the EcoHub delays on the calamities of natural disaster, including the death of citizens. In other words, it's Harvey's fault, the city tried to explain. The EcoHub deal really wasn't done yet. In October, as the city finally had to admit it was starting a new bidding war for Houston's recycling contract, Yeoman writes a nasty email, quoting, "I'm worried that the city of Houston and I have an exposure problem. The canceling of the project will be seen as abrupt." Then Yeoman worries out loud the process will be seen as tainted. You know, that's what I've been saying for 2.5 years. You know, I get a really big chuckle every time I hear the mayor say that EcoHub could have bid on the new recycling deal. They had a chance. You want to see what else they kept a secret? 2 months before the new RFP went public, Hayes wrote this little gem, quoting, "One-bin folks are zombies. They and the ill-conceived plan they put forth won't die." Boy, he sounds like a fan. Even on the day before the RFP was issued, Butler worried the language may be used to exclude certain proposals. None of the one-bin proposers had ever built a commingled stream facility before. Butler pointed out the only U.S. facility that even resembled the one-bin was operated by Republic Services in California. As you recall, he wrote, Republic is our current landfill operator. They obviously wouldn't want to see their lucrative landfill deal end because of EcoHub. Besides, their lobbyist is Cindy Clifford. She's the head of the mayor's inaugural committee. The rest, folks, is history. FCC won the recycling deal, and many of the evaluators we now know were employees of solid waste, privy to the early FCC courtship by their boss and the mayor. Just remember the pressure. Does the mayor really want to still try to convince us this wasn't a smelly deal, a tainted process where they wanted someone to win and poof, they won? And the mayor is still spending your tax money fighting to keep us from getting the rest of the story. Just try it, Mayor.